Howdy folks, this is Big Sam. Today we're going to be taking a look at the differences between a real PU sniper bolt and a fake PU sniper bolt. Now there's a ton of these floating around here. This is a fake one, and I'd like to help you guys be able to spot one so that you don't actually spend up to $200 on a fake one. And the bolts are pretty expensive right now. The bolts in general are, this whole bolt body right here, which is just this piece, just part of the whole bolt assembly. You know, I see these going for up to $200 for a real one. You don't want to spend 200 bucks on one of these and realize, oh, it's a fake. So I'm going to show you how to make sure you don't waste $200. All right, so up here we've got a real one. This is an original Mosin Nagant PU sniper. This is actually a Yugoslavian gun that was sent to Yugoslavia after World War II. And it's quite cool. One of the reasons it's quite cool is we can look at the serial number here. We can see that the serial number on the bolt actually matches the serial number on the gun. So this actually is an original matching PU sniper bolt. Another reason this is a cool gun is because it's non-refurbished. So this is like as original as we could possibly get for the bolt and the rifle. But sometimes people will try to, I guess you could call it, forge this serial number. So one of the things we can check here is to make sure that the font of the serial number matches the font of the serial number on the rifle. The font should always match. So it's sort of like checking a forged signature, right? We can think of it as the serial number on the rifle is the signature, and we're checking to see if the signature on the bolt has been forged. So if we look closely here, and I'm going to flip this around so it's easier for you to see this, so you don't have to flip your phone upside down. That would be bad. All right, so some of the things we'll look for here. I'm going to try to get this in the focus good. Okay, so we look at these fives. Now the fives, the font here is very distinctive. See right here, it kind of pokes down below just a tad. See that little poke there? And you see it here as well. Just that little poke coming down right there. And try to zoom in a little bit more so I can make sure you see what I'm talking about here. Okay. It is this poke right here. So what we want to look for is to see if that poke, because it's very subtle, but we'd like to see if that poke is on the serial number. And we look here. See that little poke right there? It is. So that's a really good sign. And we also look, see how it's not even, where the M is higher than the H here? It's interesting that that's not actually the case here, which doesn't really matter. The font matches, but we can also see that this doesn't look uniform. This looks like it was sort of hand done, which is good. This is what you want to see. So all of this matches up. This is all correct. So this is an original bolt. So what I'm going to do, since we know this is an original bolt, is I'm going to take out this bolt and we're going to compare it to a fake bolt so we can kind of look at some of the differences here. All right, so here we got our two bolts. So this is going to be our fake one, and this is going to be our real one. All right, so this is the fake one, and this is our real one. All right, so the first thing we're going to take a look at up top here. So see up here on the fake one, you see this like round, this circle thing here? So that almost looks like a pin, like there's a pin in here to hold on to the bolt handle. If you see that, It's 100% a fake. There's no real bolt handle that has anything that looks like this. So that's a really bad sign if you see that. The next thing, we take a look here kind of at the seam between the bolt body, which is this guy here, this big thing, and the actual bolt handle. So this seam down here, see how there's like this, it looks like a cut there? That's not good to see. And it doesn't look flush. This doesn't look like one piece. It almost looks screwed on. If you're looking at a sniper bolt and it looks like it was put together by a 650-pound American in his garage, like this one does, it's definitely fake. So if we look over here at the real one, see how much better this looks? It's uniform. There's no seams in here. Just it looks like it's one piece. This is what you want to see. Okay. So you can look on the other side here. That's really key to check to see if it looks like somebody was monkeying around. Also, so some of these it'll look like they were screwed on. Some of them it'll look like a 650-pound American welded it on his dinner table. And you'll see these big old horrible weld marks in here. That's also a very bad sign. You want to run away if you see that. Okay. Now, one other useful tip here is if you're looking at a sniper bolt that's on a rifle, right? See, this one's serial numbered. Typically, they'll be serial numbered. If you see one that's not serial numbered, it could be somebody ground it off, but generally that means that bolt is just from a Russian surplus. So the Russians, the Soviets had tons of these bolts surplus, and they were not numbered. So a lot of people got original real bolts that were not numbered and either put them on a fake PU sniper, or maybe they took an X sniper and they decided to reconfigure it, and they wanted an original bolt. So generally, if it doesn't have a number, but you look up here, around here, and it looks correct, then that could be that it's just a surplus bolt, right? But here we have one that this is a legitimate serial number. So this is a real Mosin bolt. Now, a really easy way to tell if this is fake is if the gun this is serialized to is not a real PU sniper, which seems kind of obvious, but if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense, right? The gun that this came with, the gun that this bolt is serialized to, is 100% not a sniper. It never was a sniper. It's just a standard 9130. And you know, knowing that, this makes a lot more sense. Somebody just cut the bolt handle off and took this big old thing and screwed it on and did bad things to this. Now, there's so many of these out there that, you know, doing something like this, I don't really care if somebody does this, you know. If this was like a really interesting 9130 that somebody, you know, mangled, that had a matching bolt and someone mangled the bolt, I don't like that. But if it's just, you know, your standard, let's say a 1942 or 1943 Chevs, and they made millions of those, and there's really nothing too interesting about it, you know, it doesn't really bother me that someone does this. You know, it's your gun, do with it what you want. That's kind of how I see it. And one other thing we look at here, this kind of looks like one piece. It doesn't really, you don't see a whole lot of bending marks on this bolt handle. These, it'll look a lot more like it was bent. See if you can see that well. See that? It looks like a lot of bending was going on there. That's what you want to see, right? You want to, this needs to kind of look, it's weird because it needs to look nice, but it also needs to look like it was hand done by a Soviet worker in the 1940s. So almost a paradox, but that's kind of what we have here. So quite interesting. All right, so again, that's our fake one, and there's our real one. Simple as that, guys. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today. We're going to be doing another video in the future on this rifle. And going back to what I said earlier about checking to see if the gun it's serialized to is fake, I already have one video up, and by the time you're watching this, there may be more videos up, on how to tell if a PU sniper is fake. So that can also be helpful in determining this, right? One last tip before we go. You can see how this fake bolt here is super shiny. You can see the reflection in it, right? Look at the reflection. On that guy, it's not as good, right? On a fake one, you're going to expect it to be a lot shinier, right? Because this guy should have about 80 years of patina on it, right? It should be a lot duller. This one is nice and shiny, so that is also a bit of a concern here. A lot of red flags, but nevertheless, you know, a lot of people are going to ask, well, you know, from a performance standpoint or a functionality standpoint, is it going to make a difference if it's fake? And the short answer is probably not. If it's done okay like this one, it should just drop right in. Sometimes if it was like, let's say it wasn't even a 650-pound American. Let's say it was like a 900-pound American in like the parking lot of a Taco Bell that did this. The whole angle will be way off, and it'll actually be more angled in this way. And what happens if you do that is then the bolt handle won't actually clear the stock. It'll actually hit, and the bolt won't go all the way into battery. And so what you'll see is then, to remedy that, people have to make a cutout here in the stock, which is really unfortunate. If you ever see somebody making a cutout in a 9130 stock for a bolt handle, and they're advertising it as a real legitimate PU sniper, run as fast as you can. Run away from it like a bad girlfriend, because that is just not correct. That's just a byproduct of someone that cut the bolt wrong, and they bent it too far, and now it wouldn't go into battery otherwise. So a lot of little tips. There's a lot of little things to look out for, and we didn't cover everything, but I hope this was enough to help a lot of people who are interested in this. So again, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you're interested to see next, and let me know if y'all got any prayer requests. Thanks, and I'll see y'all in the next video.